Hey guys, Sleep Grandma here. I'm going to make a chicken with cabbage and some pesto sauce stuff I bought. But anyway, this is not a cooking channel, okay? I'll warn you. I'm just have to cook anyway, so I figured I'd talk about something while I cook. So stay tuned. I'm going to be talking about anxiety. Okay, but before I do, this is the chicken. I got all this is Aldi's. This is the cabbage, and this stuff's pretty good. It's so tasty. I'm going to add a little water to it to make it render more. But I'm going to put this together and see what it tastes like. I'm sure it's going to taste great. Now, I have my water here heated up because, so I learned this a long time in Mexico City when I lived there for 9 years. If you want the vitamins of the chicken in the broth, then you put the chicken in the cold water and boil it together. If you want the vitamins to stay in the chicken, then you wait till the water heats up and you put the chicken in there. Now, the reason why you would want it to stay in the broth only is that if you're feeding someone really sick and they can't eat, but you do want them to get the vitamins, then you put the chicken in the cold water and then boil those together. But I want the vitamins to stay in the chicken, so I'm going to heat up my water first. And then, so right now I'm going to put purple onion and garlic inside this water with salt. And then I'm going to put the chicken in there and let it boil for about, probably about 20 minutes. Open this up, rinse it off, slice it up, and put it in the water. I rinsed off each piece and I cut it in half like this way to got the fat of the breast and just cut it in half, sliced it, and come out with pieces like this, you know, that are thin and doable. They can, that way the water can get in them and make a broth. But the vitamins should stay inside the chicken because I'm putting it in after the water's boiling. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Put that in there. I'm going to put a whole onion in there and 3 garlic cloves, or whatever you call them. Okay, so I'm going to put a whole onion, peel it off. I peeled my 2 garlics, and I don't like to buy them already prepared. I buy the garlic raw and I peel it because it's just more natural. I'm going to put some garlic salt. I'm going to put some parsley flakes in there because of the chicken, and I'm going to put some sea salt in there, okay? I got my fire on high for now. I like to use the purple onion because it's much more flavorful, tasty than the regular brown onion, so I really love it. I eat 2 of these garlics every day, cloves along with my main food. Why? Because it's really good for your skin. It's supposed to produce collagen in your skin. It's supposed to keep your blood nice and healthy and build up your immune system. So I do that every day. I got that tip from my granddaughter Heaven. And yeah, we're on our way. My granddaughter also has a channel called The Healthy Curl. Her name is Heaven, and she is heavenly. So check that out. It's www.thehealthycurl.com. Okay, here we go. Mix that up. We're going to leave this on cooking here for 20 minutes, then we're going to remove it from the fire. Meanwhile, we're going to chop up our cabbage and our carrots. Okay, I like carrots a lot, so I'm gonna put carrots in it. This is just the way I make stuff, okay? You can copy it, you can not copy it, you can add, you can take out. Like I said, this is not a cooking channel. It's just something I'm doing because I'm going to be talking about anxiety, and hope you guys get something out of it. Now I turned the fire a little bit low, even though it looks like it's high. And it's almost 15 minutes now, and it looks like it's pretty well cooked. So I'm going to go ahead and take it off because I hate overcooked food. Overcooked food gets mushy, and it's just nasty. So let's just let it sit there. Now, if it has anything to cook more, it'll do that in the hot water. As a matter of fact, I can even cover that up with the plate and let it just steam the rest of the way. I got this other pot, it's bigger. This is what I use. I use this olive oil and sea salt. And I don't know why that comes out blurry. There it goes. And I ran out of olive oil. I'm trying to get to my next paycheck. Anyway, I use this. Now, you know, it's not going to kill you to use a little bit of it. Just to heat up a little bit. Got my fire lower, see? I'll let that heat up while I cut up my cabbage and carrot. So I learned to cook in Mexico City in my teens. Well, actually, I learned to cook after I got married, but I saw other people cook. And what you do is you cook things according to hardness. So, for instance, the carrots, of course, are a lot harder than the cabbage. So I'm going to cook the carrots first. And then when the carrots are already halfway cooked, then I'm going to add the cabbage on top. Okay, because the carrots are going to need a longer time to cook. At least 10 minutes, at least 10 minutes. I will test them. But I got some jalapenos in there. These jalapenos, got these at Aldi's too. They're not that hot, but they really bump up the flavor. So this is cooking. Got it covered up. And I sliced up my cabbage. I'm rinsing it out. I almost used all the cabbage. Now this part, I'm going to save this part to put like in a broth or something because it's like the heart of the cabbage. So it's very important to use that. Lots of vitamins in that. But it was really easy. I cut up stuff in my hand. But, you know, it's up to you. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it because a lot of people can't handle it. But I'm used to doing it that way. So I rarely use a cutting board. But you might cut your hand. So don't do that. I'm going to also add, when it's all finished, I'm going to add the juice of this. I got this at Aldi's too. I love this stuff. Artichoke salad is great on white rice, brown rice, and even noodles, like when I make pastas. It's got, you know, red peppers, all kinds of stuff in it. You can read the label. And I'm going to add some, what was it? Italian seasoning. Let me see here. Italian seasoning. Now, as you can see, I'm a pretty sloppy cook. Yes, very sloppy cook, but it doesn't matter. I cook fast. I mean, it's years of stuff, and I just love cooking. I live by myself. I only cook for myself. I cook like every 3 days, and no, I don't know why I said I love cooking. I do not like cooking. I cooked out of necessity because I had kids to feed, a husband to take care of, and grandkids to feed. So I cook because I know it's better than fast food. So I don't really like to cook, but I cook every 3 days. I eat off of it for like 3 days, and then I go on to something else. I make another dish for myself. I try to keep myself pretty entertained with the dishes, but yeah, even if you don't like to cook, these are easy meals to make, and you just cook it. It lasts a couple of days, and it's really good. Now, if you get home and you're really hungry, your kids are hungry, while you're making this, just give them some grapes or something. Give them some fruit to eat. That'll make them hold over until the meal's ready. But this fast food stuff is just yuck. It's just full of sugar, full of fat, barely any nutrition, and just not worth it, in my opinion. So I want to talk to you guys about anxiety. Oh, God, you know, it's just so... So I've been really, really anxious because I got in an argument with a couple of family members, and these people just won't change, and I'm really tired, you know. I'm 63 years old. I'm, like, over it, and I feel really bad, but I'm going to have to detach with love. I don't know. I mean, maybe it is me, you know. I just don't seem to get along with these people, unfortunately. Now, of course, I will always be here if they need me, but to tell you the truth, I just can't do it anymore. I just can't do it anymore. I mean, if they don't like my personality, that's fine. But I find myself thinking a lot about it, you know, and I just hate that because I can't sleep at night. I'm really tired. I can't sleep at night. And as much as I listen to the bells and the you know, the singing bowls and all that stuff, it's not really doing it for me. So I'm going to have to put it out of my mind. Now, see, the reason I keep thinking about it is because I keep trying to fix it. I keep trying to say, oh, well, you know, maybe if or I shoulda, or whatever, you know, and some things just can't be fixed, man. Some things just can't be fixed, and I know I've told you guys that. I need to listen to my own videos, right? It's just, it's ridiculous that we feel like we have to fix everything. Man, I don't like constantly questioning myself about the things that I do. I do question myself about the things that I do, but I feel like it gets old after a while. I mean, why do I always have to be wrong, you know? I say one little thing, maybe I'm joking, maybe not. I don't know. People take offense. I mean, you know me. You know that I have your best interest in mind. Why wouldn't you just, you know, I don't know, take it easy, man. Don't be so sensitive. But, you know, people get so bent out of shape over nothing. You know, you do 10 things right, but they got to focus on the one thing you do wrong. Can't be around people like that. And they claim that I'm I put some more spice on that, by the way. But they claim that I'm to blame or whatever for the problems they have. And I just think that some people, unfortunately, right now, I just can't do right by them. So I'm going to back off. Now, the other person, that's one family member. The other family member just supports her. You know, her husband can do no wrong. And he does all these inappropriate things, and she just stands by him like nobody's business, you know, and I'm just so sick of it, you know. I try to stand by her as much as I could because, you know, she's family, but man, you know, it just gets tired. I'm tired. So it causes a lot of anxiety in me. What am I going to do about that? Well, first of all, I have to stop drinking so much coffee because that makes me hugely anxious. Second of all, I'm going to have to probably step up my videos or my writing because something needs to give. I need an outlet for my frustration besides anger. You know, a lot of times I notice that when I get into fear, I get very angry. I start lashing out or, you know, it just starts to fester in me. I don't want to do that anymore. So I really have to start doing things differently. I have to constantly do things differently. Because if I don't, I'm going to be drowning in a hole of frustration. And I really recommend that you guys do this. Constantly look for ways to make your life better. Cutting people out. Looking for solutions. We're living in the solution today. Not the problem. I'm not looking to look for people that are going to make my life chaotic, man. I'm just not doing that anymore. I did that at one time because I was running away from looking at myself. So, yeah. But not anymore. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to take a different approach to living. And the only way I can take a different approach to living is to do things differently. That's the only way. I mean, life is like a Rubik's Cube, guys. I have to do things differently constantly. That's the only way it works for me. I get bored of the same approach to doing things the same way all the time. And I found that by doing things differently, it really helps me to grow. Yes, I'm washing dishes by hand. I've never used my dishwasher. I just think it's more personal. I know they're clean. I know they're rinsed off properly. I don't want to be eating soap residue. I've always washed with my hands, even when my girls were little and we were, had a household of 4. But anyway, yeah, so, I'm just changing constantly, just constantly changing. People ask my opinion on stuff. I give them my opinion and they don't like my opinion. Well, don't ask me. Why would you ask me about somebody that I can't stand, someone that's wronged me, and then expect me to have a positive response? Don't do that. Why are you trying to force this person down my throat? And see, one of my family members constantly tries to force people down my throat. People she knows that have done me wrong, people she knows that have hurt me, she just constantly, what is her problem? She's got a problem. And I put up with it for a long time because I know she's been through a lot, but so have I. So life is like a Rubik's Cube, man. We have to keep looking for the solution, for the right colors to match up together on the right side, in a line or in a design that is pleasing to us. Because if not, that anxiety is going to fester and it's going to eat me up. And it is eating me up right now. I keep having nightmares. Yes, I've always had nightmares, but it's a little bit different. I can tell when I'm really getting stressed. So anyway, right now I'm not speaking to either one of them. I did send one of them a message and said, I love you. I'm here if you need me. But that's it, I cannot continue to put myself last in my... See, the problem is this. Whenever I stand up for myself, that I'm a bad person. I'm being, and it's ridiculous as this happening, right, so late in my life, but it's the same old thing all the time. Anytime I stand up for myself, oh, you're difficult, oh, you're always starting problems, oh, you're a troublemaker. It's like, no, I'm just, don't share your same opinions, back off. So, yeah. It is, it's not up to me to fix everything. It's not up to me to be everybody's go-to kicking boy. Go-to kicking boy. You can't come and you can't kick me around anymore, man. Sorry for all the noise. Here we are back at our pot. Oh, it looks glorious. Let me see how how our carrots are coming. Looks like they're almost done. Yep. Oh, yes. So we're going to put our cabbage on top. Just dump it in there. You cut it up. Turn the fire a little bit lower. Whoa, that's chilly. Woo, baby. Let that sit there and simmer. Now, what I can do if I want to, even though the cabbage does let out its own juice, but I can put a little bit of the broth in here. Yeah, there you go. That looks good. Now I added, like I said, to the carrots, I added a little bit of what did I add? I turned it up a little bit. I added a little bit of what? Spice. A little bit of garlic salt. So I'm going to turn this up a little bit. Turn it, Now I love these wooden spoons because these wooden spoons, which are originally Mexican and American Indian stuff, because it's not that rip-off Culture Vulture Pioneer Women's product. And, I don't mind if people steal other cultures, but at least give them credit, for God's sake. So this is not the Pioneer Women's BS. Was originated from American Indians and the Mexicans. And carrot tastes good. Oh my God. Anyway, so I'm stirring it up. I'm going to let that cook for like probably 20. Probably 20. Now, usually I put bacon, fried bacon into this, or sometimes I put Hebrew National sausages at the bottom. Gives it a nice special flavor, which I really like. But, you know, to each his own. If you don't eat bacon, that's fine. I'm trying to cut down on not eating that stuff. I need to lose 20 pounds according to my doctor, so I'm absolutely going to do that. But just, you know, giving you ideas. So, guys, as the cabbage cooks, it starts to shrink. So as it shrunk, I added the rest of the cabbage and put it in there. Now, I also took out the carrots that I had cooked because they will get overcooked if they cook some more. So, so good. Let's see how this comes out. If it comes out really tasty, then I might not add this because that might be overkill. You got to learn not to overkill too. I already added this. So, I probably will add this because I kind of want to finish it off. So we'll see. But anyway, that's what we got so far. It's like halfway cooked. Got some broth in there, and we'll keep waiting. Let's cover it up. Got that fire pretty low. Okay, so it's done. It took about 15 minutes, and then I just let it sit and cover it. That way it just like finishes steaming up. But it tastes so good that I'm going to save this sauce for something else. I'll probably make some noodles and mix that in with chicken again, with chicken breasts again, for next meal. So I'm going to save this. And I think I'm going to even save this because it's just really, really tasty. It really came out delicious. I like to push the heart down in there. That way it really gets into the juices. It's a little watery for my taste. I would have liked it a little bit, you know, more dry. I think I added too much, what's it called? Broth to it. Whoops. There I go, putting more. So I'm just going to put the chicken in there. And let it sit, man. Now I can put the carrots in there and let it sit. There you go. I can even shred the chicken if I want to. So while that's sitting there, I'm just going to do this. So I just want to say, guys, in conclusion, you know, don't let people fuck you up in the head. I mean, you know, we carry this anxiety around, this what ifs and maybe, and at the end of the day, there's nothing we can do about all that stuff. People are entitled to their own opinion. But I'm also entitled to mine, and I will give myself that respect and that pride, you know. I'm not wrong to not take other people's abuse. I'm not wrong for standing up for myself. I'm not wrong for giving my opinion when asked. So I'm not going to torture myself with you know, self-doubt, self-criticism. I'm working hard every day to make things better and better. So I hope you'll join me in standing up for yourself and loving yourself and putting yourself first. What you think first, what your values are, not bowing down to other people, the pressure of others, even if they've done a lot for you. You know, one of these people have done so much for me, but as a result, I have eaten so much shit from this person that I almost feel like they still owe me because, man, I mean, they make it really, really hard. You know, people think because they help you or because they've helped you in the past that they own you, and that's not so. yeah, they did for you. I also did for her in different ways. Maybe not with monetarily, but I did for her in emotional ways. And the price was very high. Now that I think of it, I think the price was way too high. So, yeah, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. Love you guys. Please know that you are loved. You are needed. Please be grateful for the things around you. Now, let me tell you 3 things that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful that I moved around my furniture in my bedroom yesterday and I feel a lot more comfortable in it. That's something to be grateful for. I'm grateful that I had some money to buy cat food today. I'm grateful that I had money to buy the chicken and cabbage. Thanks to my oldest daughter, Jessica, I had money to buy, trying to make it to my paycheck, so she helps me out a little bit sometimes when I'm overspent. I was a little too generous with my money these last couple of months, so I'm really going to have to watch that. Yeah, and what else am I grateful for? I'm grateful I got up this morning. I'm grateful my knee's getting better and I can walk. And I'm just grateful, guys. Much love to you, and stand up for yourself. In the long run, it's worth it. The people that really love you will stick around, and the people that don't will disappear. Okay? Much love.